You go to Four Corners and them people down there, they're worse off than I am, and I'm terrible here.
New details tonight on the flood prevention work underway now in Palermo. We hear from those who worry it's not enough.
Plus, a fire destroyed their food truck, but not their dreams of opening a brick-and-mortar restaurant. We share the story of an Oroville family's setback.
And we show you how our community came together in appreciation of our nation's veterans tonight.
Covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now. Coverage you can count on.
Work started this week on a project to prevent flooding and improve groundwater in Palermo.
The Wyandotte Creek Groundwater Sustainability Agency and Butte County are teaming up on the project, which involves clearing out nearly 2 miles of drainage ditches ahead of the wet season. The goal is to improve drainage flow, reduce flood risks, and boost groundwater recharge. But some residents question whether it goes far enough.
The change I want to see is people being able to get back and forth to the stores. Simple life necessities. I want to see water not going in and out of houses. I want to see businesses not being costed thousands of dollars every year.
Residents, like that woman you heard from, have experienced flooding in Palermo year after year, and they're pushing for more than what the Palermo Drainage Pilot Project calls for. County officials say the project's part of a larger incentive designed to improve surface water irrigation and better manage flood flows across the region. Now a look from earlier today overhead in Oroville, where a lot of clouds filled the skies, more so than what we saw to start the work week.
Absolutely, and I think it's even more so at this hour, and Chief Meteorologist Howie Gordon's tracking conditions to tell us why this is happening.
Yeah, our high-pressure ridge that's blocked off the storms, redirected them, starting to lose a little grip and weaken, and with that, moisture getting pushed our way up the mountains, getting cloud development. Not much in the way of rain. I'm seeing a little drizzle, sprinkle here and there further north in the area. At the moment, though, just taking on more cloud cover. Now, I'm not going to show you the winds because they're on the calm side. Temperatures, though, for the most part, above average today, still sitting in the low to mid-60s in the valley. You start climbing up into the higher elevations, temperatures right now in the low to mid-50s. Now, here's a look at our future rain totals. Storms moving in. We could see from Wednesday night into Friday, maybe an inch of rain in the valley and double that up in the higher elevations. And then above 6,500 feet, we have those winter weather advisories. We could see winds gusting potentially up to 50 miles per hour. Then the wind advisory in Modoc as well as the valley. Again, we could see some strong winds. So those calm winds are going to be breezy. We'll talk more about it coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Howie. Well, one motorcyclist died and the other's in critical condition after a crash on Highway 162 near Mistletoe Lane east of Oroville. The Oroville CHP says it happened during the 2 separate crashes and the riders were traveling together. They say they were both riding very fast when they lost control and drove into a dirt embankment. Both were thrown from their motorcycles, but the officers say they were both wearing helmets, and the cause and severity, well, that was caused due to the speed they were going. The CHP says it's still investigating, and if you saw that crash or if you have any information, just give them a call.
The Oroville family business, an Oroville family business, is working to reopen after they lost their food truck to a fire last Friday morning. Action News Now reporter Bea Barbosa joins us now live from the lot where their burned out food truck now sits there on Oro Dam Boulevard. And Bea, the fire happened just one day after the family opened up its second truck.
Yes, Alan, the Gomez family tells me when their second food truck opened last Thursday, it felt like a dream come true. But when their first food truck burned down the very next day, that dream quickly turned to a nightmare. They tell me that the fire started in the ceiling after an electrical malfunction caused sparks that turned to flames. The wire that caught fire brought the flames down both sides of the food truck. I spoke with Giovanni Gomez, the owner of the 2 food trucks. He says he and his family are grateful for the community's support as they work to reopen.
When I saw the business burning, that was really sad because it's like that feeling, the frustration that you can't do anything. I just saw my whole life saving, my whole dreams burning. That was really fast.
Gomez says losing this food truck was especially emotional because it was opened with his mother-in-law Maria's help. But with Maria passing in 2022 as a result of a car accident on her way to work at the food truck, Gomez says losing the truck feels like they've lost a part of Maria. Gomez says the family is currently working to get their insurance to cover the loss, but has faced barriers because their truck was converted into a food truck from a utility truck. Reporting live in Oroville, Bea Barbosa, Action News Now.
Well, thank you, Bea. The Gomez family was planning to open up their own restaurant before this fire, a brick and mortar restaurant. They say they still hope to do that in the coming months, but if you want to help the family, you can find this story on our homepage.
It's so incredible when you hear these kind of stories, and of course it's, it's the nightmare, right? To lose everything in a fire. But I love the fact that they're still just pushing forward. They're going to fight through the insurance and
we're just trying to be positive and
maybe they'll get that brick and mortar someday soon.
For sure, yeah.
Well, we have new details about the report from the engineer hired to assess the structural integrity of the Bidwell Mansion ruins. We've learned it's expected to be released in December. I spoke with the Northern Buttes District Superintendent today, who told me that the findings from the report will determine whether that building's safe to enter and what steps can be taken next at the site. He also told me State Parks is planning to open the visitor center on December 11th, 12th, and 13th in honor of that one-year anniversary of the fire that destroyed the beloved landmark. Park staff will be there to answer questions. You can weigh in on reimagining the Bidwell Mansion site future. Just find the link under the news tab on our website, actionnewsnow.com.
Veterans Day was celebrated today at the Veterans Memorial Hall in Paradise. And Action News Now reporter Sade Poulin joins us now from there live. Sade, many local veterans were there.
Yes, Alan, that's right. Many local Army vets, Marines, and Navy vets were all in attendance to celebrate and be recognized for their achievements during their service. Many veterans I spoke with today tell me that they served in the Vietnam War, Korean War, and conflicts in the Middle East. Speakers shared about their time in the service, including both sad and happy memories. Most said they joined the armed forces because they wanted to see the world, provide for their families, and protect their country. I met one Marine who served during the Vietnam War, who's a part of the Disabled Veteran Organization on the Ridge.
We help veterans get their handicap awards from the government, and we've been pretty good about that. Quite a few of us have a 100% disability, and we go through different things with PTSD and a lot of wounds you don't see, a lot of PTSD and a lot of Agent Orange people. There's just so many veterans in distress. I would like to come out and support them, let them know they're loved.
Angelica says with the holidays coming up, celebrations like this are crucial since a lot of veterans suffer from depression and other mental health issues connected to their time in service. But a lot of veterans I spoke to tell me that they say their sacrifices for this country were worth it. Now, I also spoke to local veterans here at the event to see if the government shutdown and the delay with CalFresh and SNAP benefits have affected them. And most have told me that the government shutdown has not. Now, the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs website says that most of their services are still available. A lot of the veterans tell me that they're still receiving their retirement checks from the armed forces, their Social Security benefits, and their disabled benefits if they are disabled. Reporting live in Paradise, I'm Sade Poulin, Action News Now.
Thank you, Sade. And the annual event also included rifle salutes as well as Pledge of Allegiance, prayers, and a huge American flag cake.
New tonight, Mount Shasta native Sergeant Robbie Burns is competing for a spot on Team USA in snowboarding at the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics. Sergeant Burns is part of the Army's world-class athlete program. This would be his second Olympics after competing in the 2022 Games. Burns will travel to Bulgaria, China, Italy, and Switzerland between now and mid-January, where he's hoping for 2 top 10 finishes. I spoke with him about what's really a special day for him because today is his birthday, and of course it's Veterans Day.
Serving your country in the military, is obviously an active service, but to a certain extent, being an Olympic level athlete and representing your country on that level, do you see parallels between the two?
So many parallels, and really parallels that I didn't know were there until, I went through basic training and training to become an infantryman in the U.S. Army. Is, a lot of what we learn and a lot of what we do with the demanding schedule and the rigor of basic training, it's training you to be a soldier, but those things are all going to transfer into your life in ways that you can't really fully understand until you go. But things that I thought meant something to me before becoming a soldier, hard work, determination, teamwork, it really just brought to another level of importance in my daily process and my routine and who I am as a person.
The Olympics are February 6th through the 22nd, and you can watch them here on NBC 24.
New at 6, the Chico Fire Department trained at the Chico Regional Airport yesterday, focusing on aircraft emergencies. You can see crews tackling a simulated wheel and ground fire on a passenger plane. Chico Fire says they worked through heavy smoke to rescue a pilot and crew member in the exercise. The training involved a coordinated fire, attack, and rescue operations. Still to come, we'll bring you more local Veterans Day celebrations and tell you how you can help veterans one brick at a time.